Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Hey, welcome back to another exciting episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on this episode, we are talking about how your mindset affects your bank account. It is so true. How you feel about money, how you think about money, your mindset rituals, everything, your energies, your moods, everything comes down to what will be shown in your net worth or your bank account. So this is a very, very fun, educating, insightful interview. I sit down with an amazing guest on Instagram. She goes by the Queen of Wall Street. She's got 500,000 followers, and she's got a subscriber option as well, where she's dropping some of her trading tips. But she talks about her morning ritual. She also talks about how the mindset really kind of dictates how she does financially. People that she's worked with, she was a professional gambler. She also trades stocks. She trades crypto. She's not giving direct stock or trading advice. Again, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. But she's talking more about meditation, morning routines, and how your mindset directly affects your wealth. So, and also fasting. So this is a great episode if you want to increase your money, remove your blocks, tune into this and kind of take some of her tips, and maybe you can get your way, clear your mind, and set you on a path for 2023 of pure abundance and being healthy. Because again, on this podcast, we are aiming to make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. So that's exactly what we're doing on this episode. So we'll be right back after this brief promotional message about my book. And so if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, please do. Time to lighten the fuck up. I was just in Us Weekly, Newsbreak, Hollywood Times. So much more press is coming out. I've got an audio book I've been recording that should be available any minute now. So I will keep you all posted on that. Exciting things, more books in the works, more amazing episodes coming up. I am so pumped about 2023. I'm sure you can hear it in my voice. It is not cocaine. I don't do cocaine, and I'm glad I don't, because could you imagine what I'd be like on cocaine right now? Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Also, leave us a review. It helps more people discover the show, and I would be so grateful, and I am manifesting that this show will become one of the top podcasts in our section. So help us make that happen so we can keep giving you amazing, amazing stuff. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop talking, and we'll be right back with our guest on this episode of Next to Madison.
Hey, it's Madison Malloy. I'm excited to announce that my new book, Time to Lighten the Fuck Up, is now available online and in stores. You can pick up your copy today by going to Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. This new book is a humorous self-help guide to help you remove the obstacles that are holding you back so you can take things less seriously and live a more enjoyable life. I'm so excited for you to read it. Now back to the show.
We are back with our amazing guest on this exciting episode of Next to Madison. Please welcome Julia Lepesii, the Queen of Wall Street. How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be here.
I know. I'm so excited. We recently met through our mutual friend, Ron, and I am so intrigued because my background's in finance, and that is what you do. You have a huge social media following under the Queen of Wall Street, and you are teaching trading tips. You trade on a daily basis, and you both in stocks and crypto, and you're not only beautiful, but you're also very intelligent. So tell us about your background, because you're also a professional gambler. It's like a fascinating story. So tell us like how you got into all this.
I think that actually gambling helped me a little bit in my trading career. That's very interesting because I think that trading is also a lot about psychology, and the same is about gambling. So my background, I got my first education back in Ukraine, because I'm from Ukraine, in accounting, and then the second one I got here in New York. It was for business administration. And I started gambling when I was like 19. And actually it happened because of the guy. I think everything happens because of some guy. So some guy who I really liked, he was playing poker after 6 p.m. at work. They played poker, all of them. And I heard how he told once to the guys that, oh, she's like so dumb, she will never play good.
Oh, geez. Well, that was motivation.
Yeah, I just heard it. And then I heard this and I started reading books. I started learning how to play, how to gamble, how to do it professionally, And I guess in half a year, I started to go into different poker clubs. And yeah, first time it was very interesting. I remember that I was calculating my bets in how much of potatoes or apples I could buy for the money I was betting. I was putting on the table. But
Wow.
then it was like my first time. But then within maybe half a year, I started playing home games, high stakes games, and tournaments. Like tournaments were really cool. Of course, I forgot about the guy, but I proved to him that he was wrong. Of course.
Exactly. So, okay, so what's the biggest bet you've lost?
The biggest bet I've lost, I can tell you, it was in Ukraine. I was like 23 years old, and I think it was $6,000 or $7,000.
Okay, so a lot for a 23-year-old.
Yeah, but honestly, I really think that it doesn't happen very often to lose with the four jacks to the royal flush. So I think I got really unlucky in that night.
Okay, so are you going to casinos still? Are you playing in like tournaments in
Yeah,
Vegas?
yeah. So when I lived in Vegas, I used to play some games, of course, and I really enjoyed tournaments, but mostly online. The only problem is sometimes is to find, access to play it legally because, in each state in America, it's always different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so I like online a lot and home games. Like home games in New York, I attend. It's very cool to hang out with some big guys and to show them that they are not the smartest in the room.
Yeah. Well, so you must have like created a great network because it is a lot of high net worth people will play poker. So you're putting
Yeah,
yourself in
actually,
these amazing networking groups.
yeah, actually, especially in Ukraine where I started in the beginning, I had really great friends, like politicians and oligarchs, because those were guys who played like high roller games. They had the money for this.
Yeah.
In New York, it's a little bit different, but still, yeah, guys, those guys with who I play, they are mostly, owners of some companies, like important people, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
And what's a typical buy-in to some of these
it depends. It depends how on our bets, but usually it can be like between $2,000 and $5,000. It's a buy-in.
okay. And do you usually win something or is it kind of all or nothing?
I no, so I have my set of rules. Like let's say, yeah. So I have this rule that, for example, if I see that my game session doesn't go well, I just stop the game and I go to do my things. So I don't have this thing that I must win because I'm here already. No, if I see that something is going, I mean, it happened in my life twice when I lost like more than twice. Like, like when I lost the control over because the game took control over me. But it was so many years ago. Like, yeah, maybe I was like 10 years ago, I was 20. So, but these days, yeah, if I see that something is going wrong, like I'm not in the mood, the game is not going well, I can just leave the table. Um, and also, I have this rule that I cannot lose like my stack twice. So
Okay.
I'm trying to manage myself in this story. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's fascinating. So what are some things that you do mentally to prepare for a poker game?
Oh, uh, first of all, to me, the same I do for my good trading sessions. So it's super important for me to start my day with the workout because if I don't do that, that's it. It's like my whole day goes wrong. I don't know how to explain that, but uh, this daily workout in the morning, it affects my mood a lot. So
Oh yeah.
usually it's just jogging in the morning before my breakfast. So this is the first thing I do. And if I can catch a sunrise, it's the best,
Well,
while
it's
jogging.
yeah, and they always say like how you start your morning really dictates your day, which ends up dictating your life, and why it's so important to have like a strong morning routine. Because I know if I have to go work out after this because I had a really early meeting and I couldn't get to the gym before, but it's so much easier just to skip it in the afternoon where you're like, I'll go tomorrow. But
Yeah.
you can't. You got to just keep that drive and that momentum. So that is definitely a good advice. So and I think like being awake with the sunrise is also very healthy too.
It's healthy. Your brain works different. It's something about the energy of the sun, I guess. And there is this book. I attended Tony Robbins' business conference. It was like a 7 days conference,
Yeah.
and he actually told about this book, something about the morning thing also, that it's like the way how you start your morning, it's the way how you're going to spend the rest of your day. So exactly what you were talking about. um, and what is also really important, I don't gamble if I'm in a bad mood, if I'm sick, if something disturbs my mind, like something bothers me.
Yeah.
uh, I try to do my meditation once, twice per week. It's very powerful. It's like 90 minutes meditation. I just go deep inside of my inner me. Also, like I was taking some classes. It calls the Silva method. It's
Okay.
about how about I can create my reality with the power of my mind. It's about going deeper in the levels of our minds and setting like the ideal picture of the day, of any situation, like everything.
And it's called the Siva method.
Yeah,
How do you
it's
spell that?
actually, if you know, Silva. So the guy's name is Jose Silva, and I think that he was the first who actually started this, because after him, I think you know about Joe Dispenza, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and there are many guys who just wrote this size books,
Yeah.
the same thing what Jose Silva was talking about in just like 50 pages in his small tiny book. So that book is enough. Yeah, that book is enough. And after that book, you don't need all these classes and reading all these huge books. So
Well, that's amazing. So he talks about like how to really tap into the power of the subconscious mind to kind of dictate your life.
yeah. So the idea is that I close my eyes, and I have to count some numbers backwards, like from, for example, 20 to 1 or 50 to 1, depends how many numbers actually the person needs. And the more I count, the deeper I go in my subconscious. And there are different levels of subconscious. So the deeper I go, the stronger effect is going to be.
Interesting.
Yeah, you are gonna love that. That's amazing. And actually, I attended it was like group classes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Everyone was going to subconscious. I was falling asleep, but he told me it's great because it means that my brain was getting everything.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I was just shutting down.
okay, so yeah, everybody go pick up that book. And I love shorter books because you're going to get through them. These bigger books, I'm like, I'm never going to get through those. But I do like the audiobooks because I can listen to them at the gym. Like I listen to The Power of the
Yeah,
Subconscious Mind a lot by Joseph Murphy, and I like that. And that's always a good one. And it's like I can at least get my workout in while I'm like absorbing the information, and then you can keep listening to it. But yeah, the shorter the books, the better because it's like get to the point, Tell me what I need to do, and so I can apply it. But it's amazing how it is true. Everything you kind of do, which is around money and finance, is so mentally based.
It is, honestly. Let's put it this way. Only my psychologist knows how much work was done. So I started trading really good. Because at the end of this story, I truly believe that in trading, in day trading, 10% is technique, 90% is psychology, is the state of my mind. That's it.
And you think that applies kind of really across the board to everybody?
I think so. Yeah, I really think so because there are so many other things people do in daily life,
Yeah.
and if your mind is not in the right place, everything is gonna look like a mess in your life. I just know it. That's why I don't let, for example, if I see some people and they're negative and they're trying to talk to me in a negative way, I will find I, I I will find my way how to just keep this moment. And I'm sorry to say it, but when my mom starts talking about something like what, some not really happy things,
Yeah.
sometimes I can just say, "Oh, mommy, I'm sorry, I have to go," or someone is calling, or whatever. Not because I don't love her, but because I love myself, and I know that this information she's telling me, it's not going to affect me positively. So it's
Yeah.
not going to change my life to a better way. That's it.
No, that's good that you're aware of that and you know how to get out of that, because I think a lot of people just kind of listen to their friends. I know I have situations, especially after writing a self-help book, where people will come to you for advice, and I'm happy to be there and I'm happy to help. But sometimes you find yourself tired and exhausted and stressed, and I'm like, what is going on? And I try to tap in. I go, wait a second, I'm really really an empath, so I'm kind of taking on some of these emotions that aren't even mine. So I'm working really hard to block and be able to separate once that conversation ends. This is not your life. You did a good deed, but you also have to have boundaries to where you can say, okay, like, you either follow the advice or you stop coming to me for the same problem, because it's becoming
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah. It's so true. It's so
yeah.
true.
So, and I want to talk about that, because it obviously the mindset, we've done podcasts, previous episodes on the power of the mind and the subconscious mind, and really I think, and you probably agree with me, the size of your bank account really is determined by your mindset and like your beliefs and everything that kind of goes into it.
It's also, the thing is that the amount of the money someone has, it's the money is energy.
Uh-huh.
As much energy someone has, as much money this person has. And let's say, for example, I read this very nice article recently about luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Prada, whatever, right?
Yeah.
High prices. So the idea of this article was that it's not just about the high price, it's that this item has very high energy, because the more money you have, the more energy you have. So it's like a different story. And when we talk about the mass market, it's like everyone can have it. It's not that special.
Yes.
So it's for those special people with more energy, with those who work on increasing this energy, because it's a piece of work. It's a
Yeah.
daily work.
No, and I like what you said about how money is energy. I think a lot of people, well, I would say over 95% of our population, because those who are struggling are more, 99, they don't view money necessarily as energy. So sometimes when they're struggling with money, it's constant that they're living in that scarcity mindset versus saying, hey, it's just an energy. Everything's an energy. Give it better
Yeah.
energy. and change kind of your thoughts and everything around it to kind of open your eyes, because it is true. Like your mindset definitely will dictate your financial success. I 100% believe that. So it's
Yeah.
like where you can look and find and see opportunities. But let's go into, because we've covered a lot of it on this podcast, let's go into crypto and kind of how you got into it, how you educate yourself on it, and what are some trading techniques that you can share with the audience today. So we'll start with how you first got into it, crypto.
So I started my actual trading career with crypto. Then it was the stock market, and crypto started very fun way because I think in the moment I arrived to America, it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember I was walking through the beach. I met the guy, he was hanging out with his friend, and I saw those guys once in my life.
Yeah.
Then in maybe like few years, the friend of this guy who I liked actually, he texted to me on Instagram and he was like, "Oh, let's meet for a dinner. I'm in New York." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, whatever, let's meet." And we are meeting each other, and he used to, so he used to work at Wall Street like maybe 30 years ago when it was, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And these days he's a crypto investor, so he knows how to do how to pick the best crypto at the market, what is going to go up, what is going to go down, like all this. And for maybe like 6 hours we were talking just about this, and then I got back home, and then at 3 a.m. maybe 4, I bought all these crypto coins he told me about with all the money I had in my bank account. Never do this. Never do this.
At 3 a.m, obviously you probably had some cocktails. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes. But my mind is very strong, so when we talk about the money part, I'm gonna be like very focused. Anyway, imagine me buying all of this crypto, and I got lucky because I made good money.
So
Because
did
it
you
was the
buy
moment
it?
when everything was
Did you buy it and then sell it the next day?
not in the next. I sold a little bit, and then I was like, so something is moving up, something is moving down. That's interesting. So I bought more, and yeah, I got lucky. I made really good money in a month.
Wow.
And then, yeah, so
That's
this is the
awesome.
thing. Yeah, it started only because I got lucky. Because if it would go opposite way, we won't be even talking right now.
Yeah.
So
You would be the queen of Wall Street.
yeah, and and then I started looking at these graphics, and I was like, there must be some kind of idea, like why the price goes up, moves down, like there must be something. And I started doing my own research, like writing some notes. But of course, I felt like it's very far away from understanding the market at all. And then I remember how I started losing the money.
Oh, yeah, that's when you really learn. I feel like you don't learn till you lose. That's when the lessons really
Exactly.
start.
Yeah. So, but it was my not the biggest lesson. It was my first losing lesson. The second one was a little bit later when I really lost, when I felt this. Not
Yeah.
when I lost what I made and still kept what I made, like half of it. So yeah, and I lost a little bit, and I took the money out, and I was like, okay, so I made this, like what? I think 20,000 in 1 month. Just bought some crypto, and 20K is nice.
That's a great month.
So I think so. Yeah, it was great. I felt like I was the smartest in the room. I was
Yeah.
just waking up and I was seeing like some numbers at my account. So I made this money, and then I was like, okay, I need to improve my skills. I need to become something real. And I found this trading school. actually the Ukrainian guy who lives here in New York for years, and he used to be a very famous trader at Wall Street, is his school. So my idea was this: if I made this money from trading, I'm gonna invest this money in trading so I become better. So I bought this education from this company. It did cost me exactly what I made, just penny in penny, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I started learning. And day to day, I started seeing some changes at the market. I started under like when I these days when I look at the market, I just feel it like it's some live organism. It has its own life,
Oh, that's a good way to think of it.
almost. Yeah, and trading really shows all, all these little weak things in every human being. This is what I think, because trading really shows to the person who this person is. It's about how greedy you can be, or how much um, the money, like the more money some people make, it's not that money can, you know, there's this phrase that money destroy people. No, money never destroy people. It's just that the money shows more of the personality of any
Yes,
person.
I've heard that quote too. Yeah, like money doesn't change you, it just emphasizes who you are. So if you're a piece of shit, you're going to be a huge piece of shit. But if you're a good
Yeah,
person, you're going to be an even better person. It just magnifies who you are. Is all it
yeah,
does.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and with the trading, it took me a while to discover all these parts of me. But I've never been like, I hope I've never been a piece of shit, except with those people who don't like my dog, because my dog is everything.
Yeah,
If you
well,
don't
those
like
people
my
are weird.
dog, that's it. Yeah. So and yeah, that's why I had many sessions with my psychologist, because I felt that uh, there was something here which was stopping me from making really good money. And we
Go into
found
that because I think that every human being has these blocks, but only a very small percentage of us actually figure out what they are and remove them. So let's
yeah,
get
because for us, for some of us, it's very hard to really acknowledge that there's something wrong and we cannot fix it by ourselves, and we might need someone's help,
hmm So
because our
what
ego doesn't let us do this.
exactly? So what were some of the things that she discovered were some of your blocks preventing you from that next level of financial success?
Um, so first of all, I think the very important session I had with my psychologist was when I told this story when I remember that I was trading, what was, I don't know, I was trading stock market, right? And I made like $1,500 in 1 hour.
Okay.
And I made this money, and I remember that, like, okay, I'm done. I closed my trades, and I felt myself very happy, like, oh, I made this money. But then in that moment, I realized that there was no one I could share this moment with, like these emotions. And I stepped out to the street, and I was like, I cannot go to this person because he would not understand, and to this friend of mine because she would not like get the idea, and maybe in my head she could be even jealous about my success. So it was the moment I realized that I got the money, but I didn't get any happiness at all. Instead, I got an opposite feeling that I am like the most unhappy person in the world. And yeah, So when we discovered that, I was like, oh my God, because in that moment it messed up my feeling about trading. It made me feel that, oh, if I will keep trading good, I'm gonna be more and more unhappy.
Yeah.
So I remember it. Yeah, it was like just like that. So we fixed that. Um, we fixed moments of discipline and control, because this is the most important.
Yeah.
Because this is the reason why many people start trading, but they never get good results, and then they come back to some other work.
Because they're lacking the discipline and control.
Yeah, because I don't really think that to be a trader, you need to be the smartest person in the room, but you must have really strong discipline and self control. That's why, for example, I do a lot of, what is ascesa? It's like when I say no to something for some period of time. Let's say I have this rule, for example, I don't eat sugar for some time, right? So I say to myself, I don't eat sugar until I see. This is the true story, actually. This is I did these days. I don't eat sugar until I see this number at my account, at my trading account. So
Interesting. I thought you were going to say until I see this number on the scale. You totally threw me through a loop on that one. I like that.
yeah, yeah, scale whatever.
Reward.
Like
Financial reward.
exactly, yeah. And each so it's also interesting that, for example, because I believe that eating and overeating, it has also some energy. That's why I do very often water fasts and retreats. Those days I just drink water, I don't eat at all.
Okay.
So because it's very spiritual process as well. And so so when I say no to something, I move this energy from this no to have something instead. It's like a balance.
Yeah.
So I can do the same. I did the same about coffee. I did the same about croissants because it's crazy. I love them so much.
So good.
Yeah. Um, everything. There are even like I know that there are some special camps in the world. People go there, and what do they do? They stay quiet, like in total silence for a week, for example. No word, nothing.
Heard that. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I know. To me, it's the same. It's like crazy. So there are different things and like different retreat centers. People go there to accomplish something new. You know.
Yeah, so let's talk. I want to go back and talk about the water fasting because I've heard about that. How often are you doing those water fasts?
Um. So it depends for how long. Like, let's say someone says that you can do it once a week, and you're gonna be fine. And I think it's okay if it makes you happy.
Well, they say it's healthy to
Um,
fast once a week. Most people just can't do it. I'm one of them. I need to try.
You know what? The first time I tried to do my water fasting, at least at one day, at this first time, I think I almost killed a taxi driver
Oh,
because
because
I
you were
was
so
like,
hangry?
yes. Then I think I yelled at someone. And then at the end, in the evening of that day, I just stopped by some Turkish cafe. I bought the biggest Turkish delight. I got back home and I ate it like this. And then I fall asleep immediately because I guess hormones in my body just jumped like this.
Yeah.
And I just shut down. Yeah. So, but I didn't give up. I said,
Yeah.
okay, if I made it till the evening, let me go through this evening and let me try again. So um, it took me maybe three tries, and then finally I did this one day of water fast, and then I tried to make it two, And actually what's interesting, the second day is easier than the first one. It's just about the first day is the hardest. Then whatever. So yeah, and then the longest I've done, it's I think 8 days. Yeah, but 8 days I
The
did.
energy, or are you just totally like drained from the lack of protein?
So this is the thing. When I do water fasting, I don't work out. I want to be in a peaceful place,
Yeah.
preferably somewhere next to the ocean, in a good weather, and just, stay quiet, calm, and happy. So that's why, and I can walk, I can smell how someone cooks a very nice, delicious steak, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, but it's important to be in a peaceful place because uh, once I did water fasting when pandemic just started.
Uh-huh.
It was the worst water fast in my life because I was staying home for like 8 days, and it was cold. I was in New York, no sun, no fresh
Oh,
air,
worst, right?
and just this neighbor watching news 24/7, and all this news about pandemic. And my water fasting was my protest to all this pandemic shit.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
good. And so what does the water fast do? Does it help you kind of strengthen your mind or work on your kind of discipline
Yeah.
skills and control?
So it's about the discipline. It's about it's about the state of mind, especially during the water fasting days. I do a lot of meditation
Oh,
because it's interesting. The process goes easier and faster, and going deeper in subconscious, the process is faster. It's very interesting how it works. The mind works very different. And what's very interesting, I talked about this, that my trading sessions are amazing in those days.
and you
Like all my trades are very profitable.
and you think it'd be the opposite because you're so hungry, you can't concentrate. Because when you're not fasting and you get hungry, like I haven't eaten lunch yet, it's like you feel like you need to go eat or you can't focus. You're like, I can't focus till I get something to eat. But it's like it sounds like once you get over that kind of hunger pains in a way, you get to this side of clarity, it sounds like.
Yeah, because to be honest, there's no hunger on the second day, I would say. On the second, like second, third, I think there was one time when it was a sixth or maybe seventh day,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel any hunger at all, but I just knew that, okay, it's time to stop it. Because, so yeah, and it's very beneficial because it heals many diseases. So I
Yes,
even heard this story that someone healed cancer.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because it's like when
yeah,
the body starves itself, it starts eating the bad stuff when it's got nothing else
yeah.
to go on to. Yeah, I've heard, almost like the majority of doctors, they know the benefits of fasting and they will fast at least once a week because it kind of resets your body. And it's probably really good for like weight loss. If you're trying to kind of maintain a healthy weight or lose some weight, it's probably very healthy for that too. And it probably shrinks your stomach. So you're
Yeah.
not eating as much because your stomach can only hold so much.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I
So,
think I could
but
only do 2 days, but I should try it.
what?
I should only do 2 days because I don't have a lot of weight to lose. I'm feeling like I would get emancipated. Like,
You don't really lose a lot of weight.
you don't? Okay, interesting.
No, because to me, it looks like the water goes away. It's something about the water in your body. It's not
And,
really about the weight.
and it
Yeah,
also
because
probably flushes all the toxins out too.
you've seen me. I'm not the most skinny girl in the room.
You have,
Definitely.
you have a perfect body. Perfect.
You too. But my
Go check
idea
her
is
out on
that,
Instagram. Queen of Wall Street is her Instagram handle. You can see all her beautiful photos there. Okay, so let's get back to making money. That's what everyone loves to do, right? Not everyone's going to fast. They're going to be like, yeah, that sounds great, but everybody needs to make money.
Everyone needs to make money, but not everyone is ready to have money.
I like that, and I agree with that. Go into that more from your point of view. How do you get yourself ready to make money? It's one of the blocks, I feel like.
I think that it's about the fact that I'm 100% confident that I'm gonna get what I want, and I have a goal. I have a goal like the biggest goal in my life, and I know why I'm doing what I'm doing these days because I have this goal. Like, and it's not something just to buy a car. So everyone needs to have the reason why to make the money for what. And also I really think that it's important to do charity, to share this money with the world.
100%.
Yeah, because it's again it's energy, and I don't know how to explain it. It's just then the making of this money, it has some bigger reason than just going and buying some piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
And at some point, yeah.
And it's important. They say, the more you give, the more you make, because money is energy, and what comes out comes back. What comes out, it's like a circle. So it is important.
and and the problem is that people, for example, some people want to make some money, right? But first of all, they don't really understand how much and for what. They just want to have money, like in general, but they don't have like these goals. And what's more important, that people limit their wishes. So let's say um, there is this guy driving Ferrari, right? If I'm going through Ferrari store, a car store, I would stop. I would stop by and I will take a ride. I will try this car, right? And there will be someone else who would never do this because this person will think forever that it's not gonna happen at all. So why should I go and try this car? In this moment, someone puts a huge limit already to have something.
100%. Absolutely. So that's why I've read in other kind of, manifestation type law of attraction books is go and look at the homes, go and try out the cars, go and try on the clothes, look at the vacations. And that's the whole thing that comes down to like the vision boards,
Yeah.
and not limiting yourself. Because I think what some people do is they're like, oh, that's too big, that's unrealistic. Well, you're only limited by what your mind thinks.
Yeah, I remember recently I was at the Bulgari store with someone, and there was this amazing ring because I'm very big fan of yellow diamonds, and I really want to have that ring.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I was with the guy at this store, and the stone was huge. I'm telling you, the stone was like this size. Like you cannot walk with that stone. You cannot go out with that stone out to the street. You cannot. But I just wanted to try it. It's like I want to feel it. I want to feel it. You haven't seen the face of the guy with who I went to the store. He's like, you know, that's a lot. It's like, I know, it's okay. I'm still gonna try it because even if it's a lot, it doesn't mean it's impossible. It doesn't mean that because there are people in the world for who this ring is like for me just going to the grocery store and buying a bagel.
Exactly.
And that's so it's okay, but I'm gonna try it. I want to feel it. It's my moment.
Yeah. And how did it feel?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. But you see, the thing is that mm, after I tried it once, because it was already like before, I was like, okay, now I look okay. It looks, maybe I can make it look better in this or that way. But the feeling is that at some point it feels normal to have this ring on my finger. when it becomes normal and not something like, oh my God, then, we are moving forward to this ring or whatever you want to have.
Very well said. I mean, it is true. So you guys, if you want the house, if you want the car, if you want the ring, go and try it on. Make it more of your reality. So I want to talk about before, because we're running out of time. What are some of your favorite platforms to trade on?
So for the stock exchange,
Yeah.
I use Interactive Brokers. I think it's the best trading platform, and they have
Interactive
really good,
brokers.
yeah, Interactive Brokers. I mean, also some people use TD Ameritrade, but I never used it personally. So
Okay.
yeah, so Interactive Brokers, they have very nice system and very good support, technical support. So I really love it. And for the crypto, this is the tricky thing, because for Americans, some crypto trading is limited. I'm sorry, guys.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So Binance is okay,
I love Binance.
and yeah, so Binance US is fine, and what else? Bybit
What is it?
and Bybit. It's Bybit, and what else? I think those are two main crypto exchanges. But even if you're in America, you can you can use many trading platforms if you use VPN. That's what I do,
I was gonna
because
say,
I yeah
VPN, you just
yeah
stick yourself in Argentina, you know?
yeah exactly, yeah, exactly. So and also some people can use Coinbase. I think that these days, because the market is very unstable, and like let's say there was this FTX, I think everyone knows this story
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
yeah. So you know, keeping your crypto assets at crypto exchange is not the most safe thing,
No.
but I really think that Coinbase is the safest these days, only because it's a public company.
Hmm.
So at least it's like it's something. It's not like a bubble in the sky.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Coinbase for Americans, I would definitely suggest, because these days it's safe, and also to keep crypto assets safe, I recommend to keep them in a cold wallet. Like let's say, I can show you. I actually have it in my purse. I have everything in this purse, but
I like
this
the
is
ledger.
how.
Ledger's a good one.
Thank you. So this is how it looks. It's a crypto wallet.
But the ledger or
It's
the
called,
treasure?
yeah, ledger.
It's the
Wait,
ledger. Yeah, yeah, okay.
yeah. So I just keep some of my crypto assets there, which is
Yeah.
also perfect.
Yeah, they're safe, which is a good thing. And so how do you go about, are you mainly in and out same day, or are you holding some of these positions longer?
It depends. It depends at my entry point,
Okay.
and also everything everything starts with how much money I am okay to lose. So because for each trade, before I open any trade, I set stop loss.
Yep.
So after I take some of my profit, I I hold I hold my trade, but I keep my stop loss the same. So if the price keeps moving in my direction, that's perfect, amazing. And maybe I can start moving my stop loss like
Yeah.
more and more. So yeah, but that's it. So it depends if my stop loss stays the same.
Yeah. No, very well said. And then how do you what's kind of your strategy to pick the coins or the stocks you want to trade?
So I have some patterns in my head, right, which I learned within these years. It's like I look at the graphic and I see the picture I'm gonna trade. Like, and the most important is that whatever I'm gonna trade, it should be exactly the picture I know, like I recognize, like my eyes recognize. And before each trading session, I do my homework. So I open it calls finviz.com, finviz.com,
What is it again?
and
FIN?
finviz.com. And
Okay.
so it's like a stock screener. So there are hundreds of different stocks. So each evening before the next trading session,
Yeah.
the next day, I do my homework for a few hours and I search for these stocks I would like to trade. And there are like many of them. So I pick something I really think that okay, it's gonna work.
Yeah. I
So
love it.
yeah, so trading is not something in the moment. Trading is a lot of homework. It's like hours of homework and half an hour of trading. That's it.
Yeah, because it's like knowing what you're getting into, and it's true, the patterns, like especially in crypto, like I do more trading on the crypto side than I do on the stock side, but it's like looking at those charts, it's kind of like they kind of follow similar patterns. If you can really hone in on that, you're going to do well.
I really think that crypto and stock and forex, they have the same patterns.
Yeah.
But with crypto, it's easier to see how the money from one coin moves to another one. I can just see how like whales move the money between
Yes.
them and how the price moves up and down. I even started writing my notes about okay, this coin jumped first, then this one was after this one, because I was trying to see how they're all connected. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like the process of which coin after which is gonna go up.
Exactly. No, it's so true, and it's kind of fascinating to watch this. And the nice thing about like the blockchain is it's public, so you can kind of see all this stuff happening. It was like the crazy part when the FTX thing, because you could see the money just leaving and like where it was going, and they couldn't find it, but you could see where it was all going. Like it was nuts.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if like all our traditional banking systems and the investment banks were on blockchain, they probably wouldn't exist anymore because there's so much corruption that goes on behind the scenes. But because it's not public, we don't see it. We don't see the mishaps. We don't see the corruption necessarily. So maybe that's why they're not like running to the blockchain, but who knows? Who knows? We all have our theories. So where can people find you, contact you, like any of that good stuff?
So I am only in Instagram,
Okay.
and I'm only in Instagram, and I I sometimes upload educational videos for my subscribers.
Yeah,
So only
definitely.
subscribers can see, because I don't want to share my knowledge for free.
Well, yeah,
And
it's hard to obtain it. It's valuable. It's just valuable information.
yeah, so mostly Instagram. Maybe someday I will do YouTube, but I just don't think that um, I want to put my energy into something else. It's just
Yeah. Well, if it's
I'm focused
working,
on
then
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys check her out. Her Instagram is Queen of Wall Street. She's amazing. So follow her. She's not only beauty, but she's brains. So you've got the whole package, girlfriend.
Thank
It's
you. Appreciate the words.
Of course. And it's been fun having you here. And I appreciate everybody listening wherever you may be. And we will see you next time on another episode of Next to Madison to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.